Spot Bunny as we are going to be going over some of the original Xbox finds that I found all in a pawn shop here locally. And we're going to find out if I'm going to make money on these games or if I'm losing money by what I paid. And this is called none other than Retro Gaming, finding the games for under 20 bucks. It's on a budget, baby. So without further ado, me and the old Spock Bunny are going to be here. And as you see, I've got some games pulled up here on eStar Land, but let's talk about it first. Hey, Spock Bunny, why don't you pull your mic close and say hi to everybody out there today?
Hello, beautifuls.
Excellent. So how are you doing today?
Tired.
I know you've been working all day. You've been working
Still
really hard.
working.
Yeah, you're still going at it for some reason. I don't understand. So the other day I asked you to send me a little bit of money. I asked you to send me $10 and I put my $10 with it and that became a $20 total. So and what I got here was $2 a game for each game that I've got. And as you saw, I had a list that was up above. And if we head over to the live scene, we're going to see what I picked up, all the games that I picked up, and we're going to see if we made money. Now, this is original Xbox, OG Xbox games on a budget. Now, I had $20 total to spend. I spent $2 on all these games. Let's get right into it, shall we?
Did you make it or break it?
I don't know. We're going to
Dun,
find
dun,
out.
dun. I get to
So-
meet you or do I get to love on you?
The first one is going to be MLB Slugfest, as you see right here. So use complete inbox for the original Xbox. It's going to go for $5.46. Now I spent $2 on this game. So with use no manual, it's $3.28. And guess what? I have got the manual and I've got some little extras here, right here. Let me go back to the just chatting screen here. Boom, look at that bad boy. It's got a rental sticker on it. So this was a rental game. This probably thing had more abuse than your mom on a Tuesday at Nickel Night at Whorehouse, baby. I mean, this thing was going through it. So, but we got some scratching, not very bad. The case is in pretty decent shape. So overall, the outside of the case, it's got a sticker here that says $8. I paid $2 for this. So this was just a retroactive sticker that was going on. The discoloring is not really bad on it, Spock Bunny. I think that we did pretty good overall. We can get the 546 out of this is what that it's retailing for currently if we so decided to sell it. So for $2, we got a $3.46 surplus right now. We're managing it so far. So let's roll over to the next one here. So we've got on this big bad boy here, we've got MVP Baseball 2005. If you haven't figured it out, I like baseball and basketball, so I try to collect them just a little much. This case is in really good shape. It even still has the Prolong sticker on it, the MLB sticker on the front. So that's a really good sign. And it's not looks like it's been used very much. It does have the basic sell sticker here for $6 is what they were trying to get out of it a couple years ago at Basic Video, but they didn't. We have a manual and we have the game on the inside as well. So that's a big plus, big plus. The game.
When people write in the cases like that,
Yeah.
does it devalue them?
Yeah, to a point it does, right? So
I know sometimes I'll see people write on the disc or on the
yeah. So if they write on the disc, it definitely devalues the game value. You can get used value for it, drug under the bus, whatever that is. The cases are a little bit different. So if they write on the case, it'll devalue it a little bit. But if you can get it off, it doesn't matter. And then sometimes from the factory, the games were numbered in the original series on the inside. Like this has 685 on it. So that was the 685th copy of this game. So whoever was manufacturing put it in, that's what was going on there. And that's just a little tidbit. Like Xbox was really bad about that back in the day, is writing on the inside of them instead of printing or stamping it on the inside of them. That came later on in the 3-6 years that they started stamping the cases. So this one is original. So I wouldn't do anything different with it at all. But if they put like J-Rock or your mom's a whore or whatever on the inside, I would definitely devalue that and try to get you for the lowest for it. But Major League Baseball 2005 definitely has some good stuff here. Got the manual with inside of it. The game's a little scratched up, not bad. It needs to be resurfaced. But overall, I mean, it's in great shape. So what we've got right here is use complete in box is $5.18 for the Xbox. I paid $2 for this, so I'm still $3.18 in the positive there. So as of right now, if you're counting, that is a grand total of $6.64 that I'm in the positive right now. So that's good that we will be moving on. And I didn't show you that, but let me show you that real quick if it'll pop back up to the live scene. For some reason, I didn't realize that I wasn't there, but right here is the MVP baseball for the original Xbox, $5.18. Use complete inbox. Use no manual, $3.45, and you can get a $1.50 trading value from East Starland directly. So it's something that you guys can do direct and get going. If we move back over, I've got Conflict Desert Storm, the original Desert Storm here. Now, this is a very interesting game because Conflict Vietnam is considered to be the most collectible in the series of these. Desert Storm did not sell as much, did not sell as good. And this is a brand new case. This was a replacement case. I can tell by the coloring on it, how green it is and how bright it is. This is one of the Murray cases that came later on. And it's an excellent shape. This one should have had a dongle like this on the inside, a little square dongle on the inside, but it doesn't. It has a two-piece dongle. So it was a later case that was added into this. So it's not going to devalue the game at all that it's been changed over and that it's in an Xbox case. It's not going to devalue that at all. What it will do, however, is if you're a pure collector, you'll know exactly what you're looking at, what you're getting into. So Conflict Desert Storm here. The case is in immaculate condition. They had a $5 sticker on the bottom. I got it for $2, so I would still be in the positive, even if I was buying it direct from them. So let's roll over to the live scene here, and we'll get that set up for you. So right here, the original one is what we're looking at. It's saying that it's $3.83 for use complete in box, which is what we've got here, Spock Bunny. And then use with no manual, $3.15, no box, no manual, $2.79. So we're still in the positive on this, $1.83. So we've made some money so far just going forward and trying to make sure. What's up, man? How are y'all doing tonight? Hope y'all are having a good night wherever you guys are at. We've made some money coming forward right here, just going through. And I'm going to keep it on this screen because the next one I've got is Operation Desert Storm 2. So let me switch over to the live scene and then we'll come right back over here. So this one has some flaking, like it was held in some moisture. You can kind of see the case has got some ripples and stuff in it. So this was around a lot of moisture. It's not really going to take away from the game's value unless it doesn't play. And once again, we've got a newer case. We've got complete in box. I mean, just immaculate. They had $6 originally written down for this one. The disc on the inside is very good, very clean, very, very stouty. You can see it direct. Now let's head back over to the live scene for this one and we'll show you what it's worth. Now it's right here, right under the last one. Use complete in box is $7.16. I paid $2 for this, $2. So that's a $5.16, surplus that I've made on this just from finding it today. And that's an awesome thing. That's an awesome feeling. What do you have to say about that, Spock Bunny?
Pretty good.
So far, I think I am. I mean, I don't know. Am I really though?
Yes.
They can't hear you. You're not close enough.
Yes.
Yes, I am. Okay. So we're going to be moving on. This next game is actually probably one of my favorites for the original Xbox. It was one that I played twice through, and the mechanics on these older games are terrible, absolutely terrible. But I remember playing this quite a bit, trying to get it to come through and trying to get it to work up. And that is Everything or Nothing 007. Now, this one too was kept in some moisture. If you look, you can see the ripples like right there on the top of the screen, on the top of the box there, and it goes back through. So this had a lot of moisture wherever it was kept. Like I said, it's complete. I mean, absolute complete in box. So that's getting harder to find as these games get older. It's harder to find the manuals, harder to find. People are trying to rip them away for the games that were just pawned in pawn shops and pawned across America inside the big disc bands. And so they're trying to find everything and trying to keep it together. Now this is in a newer case as well. The case was swapped on this. It should have had a disc, like a cloverleaf style disc on the inside, but it doesn't take away from it. Let's go and see where we're at on this bad boy today, for Everything or Nothing. Now, right here, you can see Everything or Nothing, the Xbox version that I've got in my hand. Used complete in box is $7.60. We're still $5.60 in the plus on this bad boy. So that's 2, 4, 6, 8, $10 total. And I am coming out on top right now. And that's used complete in box with everything. So we're doing pretty good today so far on the stuff that we've picked up. Now, the next game I picked up, I've only seen it a couple times. Now, it was everywhere when I was a kid. I remember seeing it in Walmart like constantly, and the Xbox was pushing it constantly when I was younger. But as I got older, it's like the collectors have really started picking this game up, and it's really become harder to find. I've seen it in McKay's twice since we've been going to McKay's in 6 months, but I haven't seen a whole lot of them. I've only seen 2 copies of this, and this was in a pawn shop locally, and it's in the game art on it is in terrible condition, as you see right up here where my finger is moving. It's got some bad stuff going there, but it's in the original case. It's in the original slotting of it, but it has been worn. This case has been moved. It's been through some stuff. I mean, it's really been through it, but it is complete in box. That is Aeon Flux, or AEON FLUX. And the game itself is in pretty good condition for what it is. It has a couple of scratches that could come out with a good resurfacing or a good buffer that could be taking place with it. But I mean, the manual is what really makes this thing shine. I mean, the manual's hardly been used. It's hardly been opened. So it's in very good shape for the manual directly going into it. But like I said, it's starting to get like extremely harder to find this game. And when you do find it, you normally will find the cases are in bad shape, or the artwork on the inside's in bad shape, or it's missing a manual, just like we were talking about earlier. A lot of the pawn shop stuff where people were just, well, I'm not sure if it's because that people are buying them and hoarding them, or if the opposite is true. If people have sold them and people are realizing that they're not selling and they're just dumping them, trashing them. The famous thing with ET for Atari is they built so many of them, and it was such a bad game that they ended up just putting them in the landfills after a period of time. And I hate to say that with Xbox and some of the games that they created, but some of them, that's how it's starting to go. That's how it's starting to look. So I really, I think that the other part of it is the collectability of things. Some things are starting to get a little bit higher priced than what they were. Like a couple years ago, this would have been like 99 cents retail, complete 99-cent retail. And today, use no manual. So with the manual, it'd be higher, but use no manual at $7.50. So you're looking probably $10 to $15 for the game, somewhere in that price range, roughly. With a used complete in box, doesn't matter what the artwork looks like. It's complete in box. It's got everything going with it. So between $10 to $15, roughly brand new, $7.50 used no manual, and you can get a $6.50 trade-in value for it if you were to trade it in currently. So they're kind of holding their value on these games because, like I said, they're becoming harder to find. I don't think that this had a low print run. There are some games that did for the system. I think that the low print run games that were available for the Xbox were a lot of the import games that we're not seeing anymore. There are a few that are out there, like Mech Assault, for instance. And the reason Mech Assault was so low of a print was because of all the hardware that you had to have for it. So and that's not a lie. You had to have like 20 pieces to play this game. They made it like the inside of a cockpit. You had to have the whole cockpit in order to play the game properly. And you were spending $100 to $150 a piece. Then you could spend almost $15,000 a piece now for those pieces. So some of those games have become a lot more rare as they've come up. Some of it's due to the age, and people have just thrown them away. People are trading, the people that are trading them in, like GameStop is real bad for it. If they think that a game's not worth nothing anymore, they're not going to make any money. Instead of sending it to the home office and letting it sit on a shelf and letting somebody buy it, they'll just throw it out. And you've got other companies like DK Oldies, like eStar Land, that are trying to buy these games back and trying to get the trade-in value back for them so that you can get your money out of them and that they can be preserved. But there are a lot of people who just look at it. And then you got like the average granny who their kids have grown up, their grandkids have grown up, and now the Xbox is just sitting there and it's doing absolutely nothing. And they know nothing about it other than they paid $200 for it in 99 2000. You know what I mean? So so now they're, well, 2001, but they're trying to get their money back out of it, and if they can't get back out of it, they're just trying to trash them and get rid of them too. A lot of the problems that you have with the consoles is the disc trays stop working over time, and you have to put a new disc tray in, or the clock capacitor is well known. The clock capacitor goes bad on them. It blows acid all over the board, and then it kills the board if you don't get them taken care of in proper time. So they made revisions to it over the years, trying to get that taken care of. So that's part of it. I mean, there's a lot of other things, like Africa. Yeah, one of those games that was released for PlayStation 3,
Mhm.
and Siberia. Some of the Siberia 2 games, which were original Dreamcast games that were ported over. Those games are a little bit more rare because there was not a high print copy of those. Um, there is it's not Fable, but it's very similar to Fable, and I can't think of the name right now, but it only had like 6,000 copies total released on the game because they didn't think it was going to go over, and it was actually one of the hits that went over, and they ended up doing a second run on it later on in the life.
Because more people were wanting it.
Right,
Yeah.
right. So, I mean, it's give and take on both ends. You just have to look at it on both ends and see what's there. But yes, and in flux, $7.50 without a manual. And then I've got two of the best ones yet to come. So we can hit one of them directly off of this screen here. And as you see, it's going to be X-Men's Legends 2. Let me go over to the big screen here for you so you can see that direct. X-Men's Legend 2, The Rise of the Apocalypse. This one is just starting to get older. Now, this was a original EB game or GameStop game because of the yellow tag that's on the top, as you can see, and it was used. This is one of the used tags that they were selling it for $5.99 back in the day. It's got the used tag there. And that's the only thing I hate about these is these tags are so hard to come off once they go on. They weren't thinking about the preservation purposes for these things and what was going to be happening if a collector wanted it to be in original condition. You can't hardly scrape these things off without having Gooby Gone or something because it just ruins it.
Bread, and then just use alcohol wipes.
Yeah,
Better
Gooby
than
Gone,
that.
alcohol, something like that, but it just
Well,
ruins the games.
it can, but if you use like the Gooby Gone stuff, make it smell really bad. At least the alcohol wipes will.
We can't hear you, baby. You're too far away from the microphone.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Sorry, but like if you use the Gooby Gone, it will make it like smell weird versus what you would use the alcohol prep wipes. Just keep doing it, or if you get like hand sanitizer from like Bath and Body Works or something like that, you can use that too.
Yeah, and it will preserve it a little bit better and keep keep the original case in its nice preservation state versus what they've got it here.
Right.
Now, as you see, it came with the manual, came with the game. The game is, and I'm actually going to tell you about this here in a second. The games for most of these from this pawn shop came in a white sleeve. They weren't even in the case. They were in a white sleeve, a white carbon sleeve. So most of these games were resurfaced already. Some of them need to be resurfaced, but that is a big plus, man, for me. Whenever I see that, it lets me know that whoever had it was at least trying to take care of this stuff and trying to move through.
Trying
And
to
as you
preserve it.
see, oh yeah, absolutely. As you see on the live screen right here, we've got X-Men Legends for the Xbox right there. Used with no box is $9.38 for no box. Used no manual with a box is $7.50. And as you see, let's go above and below. So PSP is $14.70. The GameCube is $27.95 for complete. PlayStation 2 is $21.95. And I value this at about $20 for the Xbox. Use complete in box. About $20 is what you can expect to pay for this game if you find everything with it. I got it for $2. Now, like I said, they're only showing the used no box because they don't have any examples of it there. But as you see above, it's going to hold in the $20 range no matter what you do or where you go. So, and that's used no manual for the PSP. If it has no manual, it's $14.70. So with the manual, you're looking at about $20 on that one as well, 2022, somewhere in that range. But I'm going to value this at about $20. So I am still on top of where I need to be currently for our little pricing. And our last game is actually going to be an X-Men game too. As you see, X-Men Legends, boom, right there, the Legends game. is what we've got. And this is the Platinum Hits Edition, but I did not get a manual with it. I'm a little upset about that, but that's just part of the game that you play. This one's been resurfaced as well, and it did come in a nice white sleeve as well. So I did get to see that there. Now I paid $2 for this game, $2 and $2 only. Use complete in box is $9.20. $7.48 is what it's going for without the manual. So that's what I've got here, $7.48. I paid $2 for this game. So guys, I'm telling you, it's out there. Money is out there for you to find in the gaming world. You just have to know what you're looking for and where you're looking for it and where you can find this stuff. I found all of these games at the same pawn shop that I went to previously. They didn't have these games before, and magically they turned up. And it didn't matter what was going on. They took them on pawn. Somebody didn't get them out, and they came off to the floor. And this is what I ended up picking up this week. So let's count it here. Let's see what I've got here. I got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. I got $16 total. $16 total in my investment. And I picked up about $40 worth of investment just from $16. So that's doubling my money on the stuff that I paid if I try to get retail out of it. And I know I could get retail out of it if I put it on eBay or put it somewhere and showed pictures of everything. I definitely could. And if I bundled it, I could make more, so it's just depending on what you want to do with this is how you're going to make money on it. And like I said, this is original Xbox on a budget, under 20 bucks today, guys. We paid $16. We're $4 in the positive on what we would originally spend on it. And look how we came out, man, almost $40 worth of value. Spock Bunny, what do you have to say, baby?
Go out, look for treasures because you never know what you'll find, and play, play, play.
Go out, look for treasures, and play, 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 baby. That's what you have to say. Awesome. So I've got to tell you, with Spock Bunny backing me this week, I think we came out in the positive. I think we're doing well. And I think that we'll continue to be hunting on our next episode. Now, you guys may have seen the PlayStation 3 on a budget that we did earlier today, or that I did earlier today by myself without the Spock Bunny. But I'm going to try to include her in more stuff as we go along. But I have got tons of games, tons and tons of games over here that I have not shown you all. And I will tell you where I picked them up at, what I've got for them, and all that stuff on a future episode. So come on, stick around with me. Let's always have some fun. And thank you guys for viewing. Those of you on Daily Motion Kick, those of you that are coming in on Rumble, those of you that are out there on TikTok, Twitch, those of you joining me on Trovo, those of you that are joining me on Camel Toe Adventures on the TikTok page, thank you guys so much for being here. And those of you elsewhere, everywhere else that you guys are at, that you all follow me at, Facebook, YouTube, all of it. Thank you guys for coming in and being here with me today. That's going to conclude our little show today. Spock Bunny, you have anything else you want to say to the fans today?
Go play.
Go play. Let's have fun. Go play, baby. Y'all be safe. Have a good night. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.